Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Manny here once again. Welcome back to DFS Zone, your source for daily fantasy sport lineup advice for the NFL, NBA, WNBA, and MLB. And before I continue on with the video, like always, guys, please drop a like on the video. And if you have yet to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the DFS Zone family, please do so now below, subscribe, and of course do not forget to turn on your notifications. This way you will not miss any of my new uploads. With that being said, today is Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018. Of course, we got one game in the association today. We got game 5 between Cleveland and Boston back at Boston tonight. Man, you know, this is going to be an interesting game. Before I go into the game like usual, I'd like to just share with you guys, my viewers, you know, last night's results. I did cash a little bit again last night, you know, so it's like four days in a row or so. I've gotten something back. Came a little close in the 15K. What is this? Hold on a second. Sorry about the 100K last night. I finished in like 9,000 and something place, but it was like about 40-somewhat thousand people, so that's not too bad. But I finished with a 236.86, and the top score was 267.18, so I was off by quite a bit. The top individuals, 18 winners last night, tied for first, and they walked away with $10,622.22. That is not too shabby whatsoever. I finished with 18 bucks. You know, I got 18 bucks back. I only made one lineup again for the big one, the 100K. So I did cash again. That's my third day in a row I cashed with just one lineup there. I've been making more lineups with the smaller ones. You know, I did the 10K. I did 4 lineups for the 10K. I'll share that with you guys in a moment. So the difference here, the winning lineup had Harden, 107.6 total fantasy points in the MVP spot. They had Green in the star position with 63.9, and it had Mr. Paul in the pro position, and he got 42.89. Then Mr. Tucker had a bounce back game. I had him as well. PJ Tucker put up a 35.2 flat fantasy point total, and then Jordan Bell came in and got some massive minutes and was pretty darn good last night. He got 18 points. I did not have Jordan Bell in my radar at all, so I really got screwed there. That's my own doing. My lineup was Harden. I had Harden in the MVP. I told you guys to focus on getting just one lineup or two if you could, and for whatever reason I went with the main lineup and I chose to have Harden on it. I just felt like he was going to have a bounce back game, and he did. He put up 107.6, so I had the same MVP as the winner. Then I had Curry instead of Green. I had Curry as the star. He put up 61.8. He only put 2 star points less than Green, okay? And then I had Klay Thompson again, man. Why did I put Klay there? There's the way I arranged the lineup, and for whatever reason I went with him. I thought he was going to have a breakout game, and then he got hurt. He tweaked that ankle or whatever it was, and he was not the same. He only put up 16.56 from the pro position, and that screwed me, while of course the winner had Chris Paul there. And then I had Tucker as well as the other individuals, the winners, with 35.2, and then I had Loney, 15.7. So he was close to Jordan, about 2 or 3 points off from there. Tucker, where I had a great bounce back game, I had him in the lineup. So that's pretty much it. Now, the difference between the 18 winners and the person that came in 19th place, which technically is like second place, finished with a 267.14 from a 267.18. I mean, that is so crazy, so close. And this individual took 19th place all by himself, with Harden with 107.6, Green in the same spot at 63.9, but then he had Tucker instead of Paul in the pro spot, and he got 42.24, and then Paul at 35.4 in the utility. And then he had also Bell. So the only difference, again, like I've said, guys, before, is just how you tweak it. He chose to have he had the same 5 players as the winner, the second place individual, who was really finished 19th and got 300 bucks, and he was only like 0.4 of a point from taking the whole darn thing, because if he would have had one more point more than these guys, he would have been taking the 100K by himself. So that's a scary thought, and that, you know, it happened one time last week. Somebody took 100K. So I mean, but the difference was that he had Paul in the utility instead of in the pro spot, while the winner had Paul in the pro spot and Tucker in the utility. So it was just a little flip of those two guys right there was the difference. And if this, so that's how close it gets. So that's the 100K. That was the turnout there. In the 10K, I made 4 lineups. I cashed with 2. I got $8. Finished in 2,717th place. Got $8, and then I finished also on 2,978th place, and I got another $8. 237.52 was my top score there, and my other one was 236.92. My top score 237.52. I had Curry, who gave me 82.4. I had Paul with 53.1. Then I had Green in the pro spot at 51.12. Then I had Tucker in the utility at 35.2, and then I had Loney at 15.7. The winning team was 4 players, and they all won 4K. That's not too bad. $4,000 out of the 10 they won. There was a 4-way tie, and each individual got 4K, and their score was 267.18. I was off by 29 points. You had Harden with 107. Okay, he had Green with 63.9, Paul with 42.48, Tucker 35.2, and then Bell 18. The individual that came in second and 6th place and only walked away with $416.67 place was off the pace by close to 2 points. So that wasn't even close. That was even though it's only just 2 points, 265 and 267 in a GPP like this. That is, with this amount of people in there, probably about 25,000 or 20,000. That is definitely, we was definitely a little bit off. But he finished with Harden. He had Paul in the star spot, and then he had Green in the pro spot, while the winner had Green in the star and Paul in the pro, and then everything else the same, Tucker and Bell. So just a flip-flop there was the difference from that person being a part of that group that could have won 3,000, maybe 500 after it's all said and done, instead of 4. It would have been a five-way tie. But that's how it is, So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like always, those were the results. I did cash also in the 2-game slate. I cashed with 2 lineups as well. I think one was $10, one was $8. All this is up in my Instagram. If anybody wants to check that out, that's at my at DFS Zone at my Instagram. I usually put up. I try to do as much as I can to get them up. But those I did put up earlier today, so you can check that out there if you wanted to see that. All right, let's dive into the slate. I'm going to go right over to the cruncher and basically point guards. These are the guys that we all know who we should be focusing on. It's all about making the right matchups and pairing up the right players and really making a decision on who may have the big game. As we saw last night, Houston came back. They won that game. They played well. You have some guys like a bounce back game by Tucker. Like I had said in my video yesterday, I mean, they need somebody to step up. A Tucker, a Gordon, or someone has to have a big game. And other than Harden having a great game, Tucker was probably the second best player in that game last night. And, that helped. And that was the difference, other than them playing better defense. So today, we got Rozier, who had a breakout game in the last one. I hope he can follow it up. I will be on some Rozier today, guys. Boston's going back home. It's 2-2. They've been looking really, really dreadful. They did play better in Game 4. I expect them to play better in their atmosphere today. They have their home field advantage. They can win out just by winning their 2 games at home. But we all know, like just seen from last night, that anything can happen. As you saw, Houston and Golden State, each team has actually won 1 game in each other's court. So, I mean, it hasn't happened yet in the Cleveland-Boston, but it can happen today. I mean, Cleveland has a lot of momentum going into this game. So definitely I definitely still feel that for my audience, for you guys, my subscribers that listen to me, definitely consider making a 3-2 or 4-1 stack with Boston players today. And then the same thing, vice versa, do one at least 3-2 Cleveland. I can't see a 4-1 Cleveland stack winning it because they don't have, to me, like I've said before in previous videos, I don't think they have sufficient offensive firepower from guys on a consistent basis where Boston can or have, at least to me, a little bit more weapons. So I hope everybody sees the same thing I see. I just see them having 4 or 5 guys that could really step it up. So with that being said, that's why I consider still Boston having a 4-1 or a 3-2 stack. You can get away and could possibly win with a 4-1, 3-2 stack with Boston. All right, Cleveland, if you go 3-2, you definitely got to go 3-2 Cleveland. So if I'm thinking 3-2 Cleveland, obviously you have to think of Mr. James as your MVP. You have to think that he's going to come out tonight and go crazy and go bonkers and just try to take the team in his own hands and try to get this game back to Cleveland up 3-2 and get that upset in Boston today. That can happen. It can. You know, so keep that in mind. That's the one thing I want everybody, to all my viewers, to understand. Please do yourself a favor, put a couple of dollars into the play today. You don't have to do the $7.99. I think it's the $7.77. Is that? Let me go back here for a minute. Sorry, guys. Yeah, $7.77 entry. Excuse me. For this particular slate, you can go and do the 5K slate. I'm doing that one as well. I already have picked out. I already did 5 entries. I do this like the night before, and then I spend the next day and I look over and make my decision on lineups. So you could just buy into it right away and then just put whatever. I put like 5 guys right away just to get in there and lock in my position in these GPPs, and that's what you basically have to do. I'm sure a lot of you do that. But if you have enough cash today to make 4 or 5 lineups in any one of these 2 slates, that's what I recommend. Make 1 or 2 lineups. 3-2 Cleveland guys, your main stud, definitely James. And then when it comes to Boston, you could definitely do some lineups. I think you favor Boston more at home. At least that's the way I look at it. So I'm going to make maybe 3 lineups to 4 lineups with Boston players with a 3-2 or 4-1 stack of Boston players. And then definitely have that one, that reserve one right there available, just like I did last night. I had that one with Houston where I had Harden, and it paid off for me. I was able to get something back. You know, it didn't get me to the top, but at least it got me some cash back, you know, balance out the books, so to speak. All right, guys. So, all right, so again, going back to the game, we got Rozier. He's definitely played. George Hill is definitely played. Rozier had an awesome game the last game. He put up almost a 49 spot, 39 massive minutes. Shot 15 shots, 6 of 15, 3 of 9 from 3. Got to the foul line, missed actually 2 shots, 1 of 3 there, but he definitely rebounded. He definitely passed the ball. He looked very good, and he was definitely defending. He had 3 steals. That was his best performance in a while, and he needed it, and Boston needed it. Unfortunately, they fell a little short. Okay, they fell short. He's gonna have to ball his butt off today. He's going to have to. So I'm going to ride the wave, and I definitely, in my Boston stack, I definitely will have some Terry Rozier. And I think everybody should have some as well. All right? So Terry Rozier is in play. George Hill still in play too. He's been a little consistent now, 22 and 28 in the last 2 games, 30 and 38 minutes. He's playing well above minutes that I didn't even think he would go over 30, and he's actually played more than 30 in the last 3 games. He's getting some shots. He's being offensive-minded. He's being aggressive, and I like when he's in that mode. He's going to need to be in that mode big time today. 6 of 9 in the last game, 1 of 3 from 3. Didn't get fouled to the foul line much, but he did have 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 2 steals. He was playing a little bit. Everybody's been playing defense for Cleveland as of late. If they continue to play some defense, this game could be very close, and it can come down to the last minute of the game, which I will love, and it'll benefit any one of us who has any stake in the GPP tonight. Because I mean, the longer, the better the game stays close, the better chance we have those star players on the court gaining us more fantasy points, right? So that's what we need. So we hope for that to happen. Jose Calderon is not even in play. I don't even know why I have him here in my pool. He is not in play, so he'll be out right now. We're down to 17. We go to shooting guard Jaylen Brown. Definitely in play. He played a bit better in the last game. 41 fantasy points. I need him to do that again. I had him in the last game with Terry Rozier. I will have them again in this particular slate again today. And definitely pair up Rozier with Brown, because they are the offensive weapons of Boston, have the most upside. They are capable of putting 45, 50 plus in any given game, any given time. More so than Jason Tatum, more so than Steady Al. Al Horford has been fantastic. He was neutralized in the last game. We'll see how that goes tonight. I am not going to pull away and say, hey, I'm going to fade off Al Horford. I don't think you should. I think Al Horford is in play again today as well. He is at home, and you know, for whatever reason, the tables always change when someone is at home. We'll see how well Cleveland defends today. But going back to the shooting guards, Jaylen Brown is in play, guys. Marcus Smart, I love Brown more than Smart, but Smart is a decent player. If you needed to make things different and you think that the best way to go is with Smart, you go with Smart. In the first 2 games against Cleveland at Boston, he put a 22 and 42. His price has gone up $200 more from the last game. He was at one point 5,900 in Game 3. He's playing sufficient enough minutes, 25 plus, anywhere between 25 and 31 in this series. He had a good usage rate in the last 2 games, 22 and 26, but he wasn't consistent from the floor. 2 of 8, 1 of 5. That's a horrible shooting day. 2 of 9, 0 for 4 here. That is horrible. If he can get himself in the flow of the offense, he could be dangerous. We know he's a good defender. You know, as you can see here, 2 steals, 4 steals, 1 block. You know, got a little bit of foul trouble in the last game, but he does all the little dirty things, which I like, but I need him to be able to shoot the ball and be a little more consistent as far as percentage-wise with his shot. If he nails down some shots early and gets in the flow of the offense, he'd be fine. But if I'm going to go with anybody, I'm definitely leaning more towards Jaylen Brown. He's more just much more explosive. So my pick there will be Jaylen Brown if you're going to do any kind of a stack with Boston. Kyle Korver had an awesome game in the last game, and 27. I don't know if he could repeat that again, to be totally honest with you. We'll see what he can do tonight. If you do decide to go with a 3-2 Cleveland stack, guys, definitely you got to consider Kyle Korver. But 27, almost 28, that's a fantastic night for him. 25 minutes, 4 of 7, 2 of 5. What I like is that he was defending, man. He had 3 blocks that day. I mean, that's just like unheard of for him. Look at this. He hasn't done 3 blocks in a long time. You know, he had a 2-block game way back here against Indiana. So, you know, a terrific night fantasy-wise because he had the 3 blocks. 3 blocks, that's 9 points, you know. And he was in foul trouble. All right, so a decent night for Kyle. I don't know if he's going to be able to repeat that again today. We'll see. If there's anybody here that I would rather play more so tonight, will probably be J.R. Smith over Kyle Korver because he is due to have a big game. And we know that he is, you know, a streaky guy. And this could be the night. So if you're doing a Boston stack and you have enough money there to throw in a J.R. Smith or a Kyle Korver, I will lean towards more J.R. Smith having a breakout game today. You know, and have a better game. All right? And he's been able to do that. Okay, at Toronto, he put 20 and 31 over here, as you can see. Let's see where else he had. He had 26 in a game here in Indiana. All right, so 31 in Toronto. Hasn't fared well over here with Boston. But if he can get it going, and the beauty of it is that he's still getting sufficient minutes. It's the same thing here. I mean, last game, not too bad. 3 of 9 and 3 of 6 from the floor, 16. You know, we just want to see a little bit more. A little bit more would be nice from J.R. Smith. So J.R. Smith, to me, is someone that it could be a sneaky play today in your stack. Small forward, LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Ojale. They all in play. Ojale, we know, is playing very, very minimal minutes. He comes in and relieves Tatum and some other guys for a little while. You know, he's not someone you should throw in there. I mean, you can because he could probably get you 6 or 7. And what is his price on here? Ojale, he's probably at the bare minimum of 6. At least he should be. Where is he? Yeah, 6,000. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not feeling him. I mean, LeBron James is definitely on one of my 1 or 2 of my lineups for sure today as my lone Cleveland guy, and then I just stack around him some Boston guys, to be totally honest with you. We'll go over that in a moment too. But anyway, LeBron James definitely in play, guys. I mean, what are we going to say about LeBron? He's in the red the last 2 games, but you know what? LeBron is LeBron. You know he's going to, I mean, 50 to 60 here in the slate, I'll take that. If you put him in the MVP, that's 100 points. 60 in the 100 points, that's 120. That's double, 2 times the price, the point total. So that's not bad. Would love to see 69 from that spot, or 75. Then he'll put us all the way up 140, 150, just him alone. So you know, anything can happen. He had an awesome game, 42 minutes, 17 of 28. He took a lot of shots. Didn't do well from 3-point range. Missed a few free throws. But, you know, surprisingly, he didn't have big assists in this game. 5 total rebounds, 7 turnovers. That's a killer. Man, you know, I mean, he didn't have that great of a game. Shooting-wise, he was okay, but he didn't look good with those turnovers, man. He lost massive points there. He lost 7 points right there. I mean, he could have had 61, 62 fantasy points. But again, LeBron is LeBron. He's the best guy. He's been showing he's the best player in the world this whole playoffs, actually this whole season. I think he's the MVP. And it's incredible for somebody to be that fit and to be that explosive still after 15 years in the league. So, I mean, LeBron James, man, very blessed athlete. Jason Tatum didn't have a great game the last 3 games out, but Tatum plays better at home. He did have a good game in game 1. We'll see how it turns out for him. We know he's capable of getting 35 to 40 easy. He has 45 plus upside. I just think the guys that are more dangerous for Boston. Now, I'm not saying that he's not in play. He is in play, guys. I just like a little bit more the explosiveness and potential of the big upside with Rozier in a GPP. I'll take my chances every night with a Rozier and even a Jaylen Brown. Tatum will be like my third choice out of all these young guys. So I'm not saying he's not going to be in some of my lineups depending on his price. He probably will be, but he won't be like, I won't consider him MVP. But he's definitely in play. Power forward, Love, Marcus Morris, and Larry Nance, Jeff Green, all these guys are in play. Larry Nance has been getting more action now than Jeff Green, so he's being a little faded out. I mean, 26 and 21, and when you're in the green and you're putting these kind of numbers up, he played 10 minutes the other day, and he put up more. He put double the amount of points per minute. I love him. That's what I want to see. As a GPP player, you want to see somebody be this explosive. What's to be on the court 10 minutes and put up that many points. And the objective here is he only put 7 points of it. It was the blocks and the steals. There goes 9 points right there. If he can continue to do that, he's going to get time on the floor. I just don't see him. He is going to play more just by the way he's been playing. He's a young guy. Why not? This guy was doing justice for the Lakers. Him and Clarkson, they have a lot of potential. You brought him here to help you out. This is the time to help you. He's young, he's fast, he's wide. Let this guy play. 15, 20 minutes, that's it. And if he can give you 15, 20 fantasy points or better in 15, 20 minutes, then he did his job for us fantasy players. He did his job. So definitely he's one. I had him in my lineups the last time. I expect to have him in some of the lineups again today with Cleveland. Center, Al Horford is in play. He plays better at home. He plays pretty. Al Horford is a steady player. He didn't look good the last 2 games. He did put a 30 spot in the last game, or after he had that really dreadful 20 fantasy point game prior to that. But he had to play 42 massive minutes to do that. 5 of 13, 1 of 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He has 7 rebounds. Didn't get any offensive, which is very important. We need to see him get back to that. Only had 1 assist, which is surprising. He's usually good for 3 to 6. 1 steal, 1 block, that's pretty good, and definitely he's not a fouler, so you're not going to have concerns with him getting into foul trouble. Al Horford, if they can open up, spread up the floor a little bit more, give him a little bit more wiggle room, if he can get on the flow of the offense, especially hitting from three-point range. I mean, a lot of his shots were contested, and when he was under the boards, he really got double-teamed a few times, and they made him look pretty bad. He made some bad decisions and some bad shots, but I like him still. I think Al Horford is still in play. Tristan Thompson in play too. I don't know what is his price on here. Let's see. Mr. Thompson. Yeah, 8,500. He's been going up. I remember when he was only 65. So he's 8,500 now, but he put up almost a 40 spot, 39 spot in the last game, 38 minutes, 6 of 10 from the floor. He had 10 rebounds, 2 of them offensively. He had 2 assists, 1 turnover, which is good. 1 steal, 2 blocks. I mean, he did a little bit of everything, and he didn't get into foul trouble, which is big. If he could do the same thing again tonight, he's definitely in play. Mr. Baines is getting a little less action now, 16 and 24 in the last 2 games. I had him in the previous games lineup, and he didn't put enough for me, so I don't know. I mean, but he is at home today. Let's look here at home, 17 and 25 here in the first 2 games against Philly at home, a 28 spot here. He put up a 20 spot at home against Milwaukee. So he's good for 20 to 24 if he's playing at least 20 to 24, 20 to 25 minutes. So we'll see what happens in the rotation today. And that's pretty much it. Those are the guys. We all know these are the guys in play. Now it's about putting a group together here. So, all right, let's take a quick look here, spend another moment here, and then I'll wrap it up and let you guys be able to process all this and make a decision on your lineups here. MVP, we're going to start off right away. Let's just go with LeBron at 20,000. And let's see if we can put everything else here as Boston Celtic players. All right. I think that's a way to go. Let's see what we can do with the money here. Like I said, I like Rozier, so I like to put him there. And even if I take Brown, it's going to leave us with 7,500. So we might have to take a Cleveland Cavalier because I don't think that's that many Celtics that cheap. They ain't any at all unless you're going to go with Ojale. And Ojale is 6,000. And we just can't figure him being in there more than 8 to 10 minutes unless it just becomes a blowout. Cleveland blows these guys out or they blow out Cleveland. Then maybe he'll get more time on the floor. And I don't know. It's so hard. This is what makes it so hard is that you don't have a crystal ball telling you, yeah, they're going to, Boston's going to blow out Cleveland and Cleveland's going to blow out Boston. And Mr. Ojale is going to get more time on the floor. So, I mean, you got to go what normally work. I would probably go Jeff. Let me just look at Jeff Green here for one moment. I don't think, well, he got 20 minutes and 18 and 27, so he's getting sufficient minutes. He could be someone we could sneakily put in here and maybe hope that he has a good game. J.R. Smith, his prices come down. So right away, I'm thinking J.R. Smith because I told you guys that before. Now, 8,000, we can go Larry Nance Jr. I mean, right here, it looks like this is a Cleveland stack. You could go Larry Nance Jr. if you wanted to go 3-2 Cleveland, okay, guys? Or take Nance out of there and really take a shot at Jeff Green. And that leaves you with 1,500. And I still like Rozier and Brown here because of the GPP play here, because of the factors that they have that upside. All right? They are the most scariest guys offensively for Boston as far as, like, they could be dreadful or they could be, superstars for the night. They could go 50+ upside or they could be a complete dud and give you 20-25. So, this is the chance and this is the Russian roulette that you have to take with these guys. But they need these guys to play well for them to even have a shot. So, I mean, I'm projecting and I'm feeling and my gut is telling me that Rozier and Brown are going to have another good game. I don't know how you guys feel. But Brown and Rozier, James, Smith, and Green, that doesn't look too bad. And if you wanted to go, let me see, if we wanted to go up more, we could go with Al Horford with that 1,500. You can just change Rozier, move Brown over here, or just put steady Al there. You can do that. And those are your two Boston Celtics. Horford and Brown is not a bad stack. Horford is pretty steady. If he gives you 40, you'll get about 75 out of him here at 1.5. Okay. You can go that route. And then if you don't go with James at all, then you can go here. You can shoot for the stars with Terry Rozier, and you can have Al Horford there. And then I would keep J.R. Smith, and at 14, I would take a chance. I mean, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table, but I would take a chance with Tatum, Morris, or Smart. Morris would be the bottom of the choices here, and Smart. I would rather go with the youngster. All right, so you could do that. I mean, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, but I mean, I can see that working. I can see those four guys just having a massive game, and J.R. Smith just really just having a nice regular hot streak J.R. Smith night where he just puts up 30 to 35, which would be considered a really, really high number for J.R. Smith as far as fantasy points. But he is very much capable of doing that. He can explode for 40+ fantasy points. But I could, for 7, I'll be happy if he gives me 25 to 30 from that spot, that utility spot right there, and then have Tatum give me 30 to 35. And then you got Jaylen Brown, let's say if he gives us 50 here or 40, let's say 40 fantasy points, Horford at 40, and then Terry Rozier giving us a 50 spot. It's not that bad. And you calculate that, could be about 270, 280 points is enough to win a GPP like this. But it's a chance you're taking, so it's entirely up to us to make those decisions. So Rozier, Horford, Brown, Smith, Tatum, and if you didn't want to do that, then you can take a chance. If you don't, you can take a chance and hope that Kevin Love, I I would hate to go with Kevin Love. I mean, because he's just been so up and down. I mean, 28 minutes, look at it, 9 and 11. He's getting the rebounds, but man, not enough points. We need the Kevin Love to put points. And look at the turnovers in the last game. He has had 10 turnovers in 2 games. Dreadful. You know, I don't know. But sometimes you just got to take a chance. This is what you got to understand. You have to sometimes take a chance. In a GPP like this, he's a GPP play. There's no doubt about it because he hasn't been steady. But if he has one of those fantastic nights where everything is just going down, every three, every corner shot, every free throw, every rebound, he's collecting it. I mean, he can put 40, 45 up there. And if you have him in the MVP or the star spot, you're going to gain another 40, 45 or 30 to 35 from him. And you know, so I don't know. I still think, to me, it's like you just got to ride James here. We know the other night he was there. And we know he was like 80 or whatever, 90% owned. Heck with it. You want to be a part of that. He's going to probably be the top scorer no matter if he's playing in Boston or not. You know, he's going to be the top scorer. So it's either you put him there or you just drop him all the way to star and then hope that a guy like Rozier or Harford for Boston or Jaylen Brown has a massive game and you put them in the MVP spot. So let's leave LeBron there. We can't go any more than Rozier, to be honest with you, and Brown here. And then 7,500, it's very, very tough. Let's say you go Tristan Thompson, who's been playing well, if he can play, and then you're going to have to take your chance with Jeff Green at 6,500 or Ojale at 6,000. I don't know. These guys haven't been, the thing is that's the scary part. You say to yourself, I can't see Green having a 20, 25 point game right here. But he's capable of doing it. If he's involved in offense, he's making shots, and they finally give him the ball more. He's not getting the ball because other people are taking the shots, and they are performing well. So in a way, he's just out there really just being a floor of the offense and being the one that passes the ball and looks for that open man, as opposed to being the one that gets aggressive and takes those open looks and tries to take the open shot if he can get it. So I you know, this is what's so tough. I'm still trying, as you know, with every video I've been sharing this stuff with you. I'm trying here. I'm trying. I've cashed 4 nights in a row. I'm trying. I want to hit that top spot. I haven't hit a top spot in about close to 2 months now. Yeah, so it's a long time. The last time I won, I won first place, and after hours is just before the playoffs started. I pulled out GPP, the 20K after hours. I ended up being in a tie, and I ended up spending. I had to cough up. You know, I mean, when I cough up, I mean I got $4,000 and change out of $4,000, I believe it was, or 3,900 and change for being tied. But I was tied with about 9 people. That was the killer. If not, it would have been 20 grand. So it's been a while. I want the first place prize, guys. I want it. So you know, so I'm trying to really, these slates, this is so tough. And then when you see the winners, you go, oh man, I was just off by 1 or 2, or just one position player, and it's just it's a killer. So, and let me stop ranting here. But anyway, so utility 6,500. I mean, I just can't see myself taking a chance with a 6,500. I can't see myself taking a chance with Jeff Green. I would prefer him obviously over Ojale. He's going to get more time on the floor, so you want the guy on the floor. But you basically are just, you know, hoping that he does get some time on the floor. He gets his 18 to 20 minutes, and he happens to put up 20 fantasy points for you. You know, that's what you're hoping for if you slot him in there. I think Tristan is going to be fine. He's now an integral part of this offense right now, and the way he's been playing, and he brings a whole new renown, you know, effort and energy and everything, the excitement to the team when he's on the floor. So I don't see him getting a reduction in time unless they start getting blown out. So this doesn't look too bad right now until you get to the part of making that decision. So I have no idea there. So I mean, if I don't go with Jaylen Brown or Terry Rozier, what do you guys think? I mean, who can we go with here? So the next guy under in price would be Marcus Morris or Marcus Smart. You could take a risk on a Marcus Smart and hope he's kind of steady. He's not like, I mean, that's not the word steady. I mean, he's erratic, he's inconsistent, but he doesn't have tremendous upside. He's not one that's going to light you up for 40, 45 fantasy points, 50. This is where Brown and Rozier comes into play. I'm going to stick to my gun. I know I'm going to have Brown and Rozier in my lineup. I hope you guys do the same. Maybe we'll have an eight player tie for first. I wouldn't mind doing that with some of my subscribers. That'll be awesome to talk about it the next day. But I can't see myself not having James, because I know everybody in their damn life is going to have James. I mean, I'm sure everybody's going to take James. He's going to be highly owned again, even though he's playing in Boston. So I just don't know. But LeBron James, Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown. Okay. We take a chance, right? And we say, we're going to go George Hill. We're going to go, George Hill will be even higher than Tristan Thompson. We're going to go, excuse me, not Tatum. The only thing we could do is say, hey, you know what? We're not going to go with Jaylen, and we're going to take a shot with Marcus Smart. And then utility, we come down and we got to say to ourselves, hey, you know what? Let's try Tristan Thompson. And then we still have 8,500 where we can get a Mr. Baines, or even throw in there Larry Nance, which would be very nice. But, man, I just don't like this idea of Smart right here in the middle. So it looks like that more and more, even though I'm going to have a lineup with James, I think that lineup with James is going to have only 2 Boston players and 3 Cleveland Cavaliers, like I had mentioned before. 3 Cleveland, 2 Boston stack. I think that's the best way to go in this slate tonight, even though they're playing in Boston. And I think I'm going to play Russian roulette, guys, with Boston players on top with no James involved, and hope that those guys come through. So you will have to, I will be willing to go Rozier, Horford, Brown, okay, and then at utility, try to find 2 guys that could come through for Cleveland. Right away, my first start is Tristan Thompson, and then I got 12-5. I can go up all the way up and take Marcus Morris or Jason Tatum, and I would go with Tatum, but let's take a look at Morris for a moment. Yeah, 25, 24 minutes, and he's still not giving me a point a minute, and that just doesn't fly with me. And then Tatum is just a young rookie. He is fantastic. He's getting a massive more minutes, and he's capable of getting you 31, 35, 30, 35. If he can get me 35, 36 from that spot there, I would love him. So, I mean, that's what I'm thinking right there. I don't, I'm going to brainstorm it. I just want to do a video with, 37 minutes in so far into the video, and I start doing these lineups, and I get just, overwhelmed here with my mindset as far as how to go about this. But we know, I'm going to wrap up this video here. We know that tonight's game, it's a matter of if Cleveland and Boston stay close. If Cleveland and Boston stay close, we all know, as fans, that guys like Rozier, Horford, Brown, and then you think of Cleveland, even Jason Tatum, you think of those guys, they'll be on the floor, especially in a close game. So that's what we could hope for, and that will give us the best chance to get as many fantasy points with these guys on the floor. We hope to not have a blowout. Now, if we have a blowout, then it's a matter of hopefully you have chosen the right value play guys that now are getting garbage time and are going to be able to give you those fantasy points, which could be Tristan Thompson, which could be Aaron Baines, Larry Nance, a Jeff Green, Ojale, even Osman, it goes down the list, Ronnie Hood, or Clarkson. Right now I'm not on those guys, and we don't know what's going to happen. But one thing I do know is if the game stays close, we know as fans that these key players will be on the court. James, Love, okay, pretty much for Cleveland, as well as Tristan Thompson, all right, J.R. Smith, crunch time, these guys are going to be on the court. Larry Nance looks like he's been playing a lot of minutes late in the game, too. He's going to be a part of this offense as well late in the game, and he's decent defensively. He can get you some blocks and steals. He hustles, all right, so that's what we're looking at here. So let's hope for a close game, and let's hope that something like this evolves as far as some of the players. Now, I still like Boston at home. I'm hoping that they win the game, for one. I want them to go up 3-2. I would love Terry Rozier and Jaylen Brown to ball their butt off again today and give us even bigger numbers than the other night. I'm going to be heavily on those guys, so you guys know that already. And then it's just a matter of deciding what those other 2 or 3 guys are. I mean, right now this lineup here is not too bad. You leave 1,000 on the table. You got Tatum offensively who can give you 30 to 35. You got Jaylen Brown who can give you 40 or 50. You got Horford who can give you a steady 35 to 40, and you got Rozier who could explode for 45 plus. Sometimes you just got to play Russian roulette that way, you know. But anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I already gave you the pool here. I already told you which guys are in play. These are them right here. We'll go over them again real quickly. James, Horford, Love, Rozier, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Morris, Marcus Smart, George Hill, Tristan Thompson, Aaron Baines, Larry Nance Jr., Kyle Korver, J.R. Smith, Jeff Green, Jordan Clarkson, and Semi Ojeleye. Of course, the last 2 guys, I'm going to just take off right now. 1, 2, off. Okay? So, guys, you really are down to just 15 guys. I think those 15 guys are the ones that you can make lineups with. Okay, guys? Again, I am not going to give people lineups. We go over them right here. If you choose to use any of those lineups that I just drew up there real quick, that's entirely up to you. If you do, and you want to comment and let me know, hey, I like that lineup, or you decided you're going to switch it in some other way, great. Maybe, who knows, I may like your lineup. I mean, I know I'm going to sit down now for a little bit and try to figure this out. But again, wish everybody luck tonight. A little bit of news prior to me leaving. I got my webcam and everything all set up last night. I know probably 1 or 2 of you probably found me online. I was online like around 9. I think it was like 8:30, 9 p.m. or maybe even earlier than that, like 7:30, 8 o'clock. It was sometime around there. I had my son help me out with it, who's a gamer, and I've had this stuff for a couple of weeks now, and I just didn't set anything up. But I finally got it set up, so I will be doing some live streams, and I will be doing my videos pretty soon, maybe as soon as tomorrow or the next day, where you're gonna actually be able to at least see who I am, because I'll be in the right-hand corner of your screen every day, or in your left-hand corner. And I'll be discussing basketball and WNBA and, of course, Major League Baseball soon. But right now, let's just concentrate on the NBA. And let's concentrate on the WNBA. That WNBA video is already out. I did that earlier. That is out for today's 2-game slate. So if you guys follow me for the NBA, fantastic. If you don't do WNBA, you definitely should check it out. The girls, the women basketball players are fantastic players. I mean, great athletes. I've been watching WNBA since its existence, more intensely and more so now in the last 3 or 4 years than prior years, but the athletes are just getting better and better, from the collegiate level all the way up to the pro level. So definitely consider watching a few of those games. And if you are not a league pass, that's the cheapest league pass you're going to get. I think I pay like $17 or $18 a year for all the games. So, I mean, because not all of them are going to be on television. They're not going to be like on ESPN and on network TV that often. So definitely get the league pass. You could watch it on your mobile device, your tablet, your desktop computer, wherever you want. If you have the app, if you have Fire TV stick or something like that, you can get it. I think you can get it there as well. Or I think you need to get Apple TV. Sorry, Apple TV, because I got Fire TV, and I'm not able to get the WNBA League Pass there. But again, you can see it on your computer and everything. That's what I do. I set it up, and so it's good stuff. Definitely good stuff. So definitely, if you have not played that or you're looking to learn more about that, definitely just tune into my WNBA videos. Check them out, and I'll give you a little insight there as far as what are the possible good plays for those given slates every single night. Okay, guys? With that being said, that'll be it, guys. Again, drop a like on the video. If you have not subscribed yet to the channel, please do so. Become part of the DFS Zone family here. I want to build a nice family, a nice community, a place that we can always talk about all the sports that I pretty much will be doing videos on, which will be even the NFL when the NFL season comes, of course, MLB and the WNBA and the NBA. So, definitely become a subscriber and be a follower. I also have an Instagram and a Twitter. You can definitely check that stuff out. That is all in the description down below the video. And again, guys, God bless. Good luck tonight with your games. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.